Hello. So in DeFi, it's not uncommon for a project to generate tons of hype only to collapse weeks later. That's why it's especially important for retail DeFi investors to have a framework to analyze projects and apply this framework before FOMOing into a project. It's funny because investment frameworks are the foundation of smart investing in traditional finance, but there's really so much new retail money coming to crypto right now that this aspect is mostly overlooked, not by everybody, but by a lot of new people getting in. So, interest in the space is good, but it has to be backed up by data and market fundamentals. And hopefully, these three metrics and five charts will help you uncover valuable DeFi projects. The first metric is TVL, a total value locked. It's something purely in the crypto space. It refers to the total value of assets deposited by users and locked into a protocol. Most assets in a project locked, More assets in a project locked means users have more confidence providing liquidity and collateral for the protocol's economic activities. It signals the market's confidence in the project, basically. So we can look at this TVL growth chart here. It also includes market cap, but we'll get to that later. As you can see, the top 10 protocols have two things in common, have both huge values above 5 billion and stable TVL growth month by month. It indicates the project is continuing to maintain vitality and strength. However, it's not all about growth. We also want to look at the distribution. Using the scatter chart, it lets you pick projects whose TVLs are middle of the pack, so to speak. Basically, looking at this, we can separate projects really easily into three categories. Those that are already priced in, so that means they're over leveraged and overvalued, possibly. Then you have completely new, unproven, and risky projects. That's like all of them up down here. No, no, no hate on our friends investing in Kland or here. Let's go to Kland or any of these projects, Cozy Finance, but they're obviously a bit more risky. And then you have some around the middle. Those are really projects which have potential. You can see some here: Bunchy, Alchemix, Synthetics. I mean, these are all projects that could be going somewhere. But how should you balance risk with reward? Well, as we said, to be on the safe side and to prevent risk of projects that are tiny running away with their money in a rug pull, individual investors should try to select projects in the middle of the TVL range. What we would recommend is above 20 million when deciding what to invest in. If your risk tolerance is low and your need for return is not too high, you can choose projects from the top protocols to invest in based on your preferred DeFi project category. For example, DEXs for providing liquidity, lending for lending, etc. Now we're going to turn to market cap. That's the second metric. It's a word that you probably heard already. To keep it short, market cap is the most accurate overall reflection of a project's market value. This metric is calculated similarly to stocks in the traditional equities market, namely by multiplying the price of the token by the number of tokens in circulation and available for trading. So the first thing you want to do is to avoid low market cap to FDV when looking for long-term holds. For this, you can make a chart like this or use this one. It's the MCFDV chart. Now, if the MCFDV ratio of a project is too low, Can you guess what that means here? That's right, it means fully diluted valuation. So if if this ratio is low, that means a large number of tokens have not been released yet. This happens when a protocol or a project is newly live, where two, that the total supply of the token is extremely large. This means that if you hold it, it can destabilize the price later on as the supply changes. Now, another crucial market cap metric, another ratio, is the market cap to total value locked. The current MCTVL ratios of the top 10 projects are almost without exception less than 1 here. This means that these projects are undervalued and worth investing in. From an economic perspective, the higher the TVL of a project, the higher the market cap should be, because a high total value locked indicates that investors have a high degree of confidence in the project's economic utility. Basically, investors locking their tokens in means that they are utilizing the project rather than just speculating. More utilization relative to speculation is usually a good sign. Now, finally, you want to take a look at the token price movements. It's always easy to just see, that parabolic growth and then see some crashes and be like, well, imagine yourself buying in right at the dip. But it's kind of doing DeFi investing backwards. Most people start by looking at this is wrong. Most people start by looking at these token prices, then doing the research on the underlying projects to justify their often FOMO-driven investments. Instead, you should already have investigated suitable projects using the metrics and indicators that we just explained. After you created a short list of projects that you're interested in, screened for solid fundamentals, you can then look at the token prices. At Footprint, we recommend being wary of price jumps and drops that are greater than 20%. Normally, these extreme changes in price indicate an unhealthy market reaction to news, or it could just be a pump. If the token price remains relatively stable, the liquidity of the token is relatively stable. Also, therefore, the possibility of damage to the project caused by a large number of individual investors selling tokens is reduced. So these are just all of these charts that we looked at. Like, we're not telling you to invest in Ape Rocket or Polycat or any of these, although a lot of these would say are quite good, solid ones. But you can use these charts and our tools at Footprint to put the tokens that you're interested in and the projects you're interested in into these charts and find valuable DeFi projects yourself. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too much and hopeful information. Hopefully it was clear, and feel free to take a look at this How to Discover Valuable Projects page. Thank you.